All right, let's jump right in. We're tackling California rental law today.
Big changes coming in 2025.
Yeah, a lot to unpack.
Definitely.
You know how it is, new year,
New laws.
new scramble to figure it all out.
Right, exactly.
But no worries.
We've got you.
We've got you covered. We went through all the legal stuff.
All that jargon.
All that jargon, yeah.
Yeah.
And pulled out the important stuff.
The stuff you actually need to know.
Exactly. So think of this deep dive as like
Your cheat sheet.
your cheat sheet to this whole new world of rental law in California.
Yeah, it's going to be a different landscape for both.
Landlords and tenants.
Exactly.
So we should probably start with one of the biggest changes, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep.
Application fees. This is where it gets interesting, yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean...
Everybody's been there.
Oh, we've all been there, sending out tons of applications. Each one have a fee, and you're like...
Is this even going anywhere?
Yeah, like just throwing money away.
Right.
Well, good news, maybe. 2025 is like shaking things up.
Big shakeup.
Big time.
So now landlords, they have a choice.
Okay.
They can process those applications in order pick the first qualified person and refund everybody else.
So it's kind of like a race then?
It is a race.
But with background checks instead of, running shoes?
Exactly. Yeah, or they can go a different route and just refund everybody.
Wait, what? So they could pick someone who applied last.
They could.
And still have to refund all the other application fees.
Yeah, that's right.
How does that make sense?
Well, the idea is to prevent landlords from just stacking up fees.
Oh, okay.
When they maybe already have somebody in mind.
Oh, so they can't just collect a bunch of fees
Exactly.
if they already know who they want, essentially.
Yep, that's the idea.
That makes sense. So it's really trying to protect renters from that.
Absolutely.
From just unfair fee collecting.
Right, because there's also another important detail here. They can only collect those fees if there's an actual vacancy.
Okay.
Either right now or one coming up right away.
So no more fake vacancies?
No more phantom vacancies.
And endless application fees.
That's right.
Definitely a win for renters.
Definitely a win.
Okay, that's good to know.
And those vague application criteria?
Yeah, the ones that are do I even qualify?
Exactly. What does good credit even mean?
Right.
Well, those are gone too.
Really?
Yeah, landlords have to give you clear guidelines up front.
So specific credit scores.
Yeah.
Income requirements.
Yep.
So you know exactly what you need.
Exactly. No more guessing games.
No more guessing.
No more hidden hurdles.
Transparency.
I like it. Transparency is key.
That's good. That's good.
All right, let's switch gears a bit.
Okay.
Let's talk security deposits.
Ooh.
Move-out day can be a nightmare.
It can be, yeah.
Disputes over damages, deductions from your deposit.
It's stressful.
So get ready for a new era of documentation.
Documentation, what's that all about?
Well, now, picture this. Landlords have to take pictures of the property at 3 different points when you move in.
Okay.
After you move out, and after any repairs are done.
So it's like a photographic timeline of your time there.
Exactly.
Like a time lapse.
That's actually really smart.
Yeah, so if there's ever a question about damages...
You've got proof.
You've got the proof.
No more arguing about whether that stain was there before.
Exactly. Protects both sides, really.
Yeah.
Tenants have proof if the landlord tries to keep their deposit.
Right.
And landlords have evidence if a tenant, goes wild.
Yeah, fair enough. But I imagine taking all those photos, that could be a lot.
It could. You're right.
Yeah.
That's why they're phasing it in throughout 2025.
Okay, so landlords have some time to prepare.
Exactly. Move out and post repair photos, that's April 1st.
Okay.
Move in photos, that's July 1st.
All right, so there's a little bit of a grace period.
A little bit of a grace period. But ultimately, this is going to make things so much easier.
So much clearer for everybody.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so we've covered application fees.
We've covered security deposits.
Security deposits feels like a lot of wins for renters.
It does. It does.
But what about building credit? Can we talk about that?
Oh, that's a big one. Rent payment reporting.
Wait, so I could actually get credit for paying my rent on time?
You could?
Finally. Tell me more.
Okay, so landlords of larger properties, 15 units or more, multiple properties, REITs and LLCs, they have to offer tenants the option to have their rent payments reported to credit agencies.
So if you're a good renter, paying on time every month.
That's going to show up on your credit score.
That's awesome. That's huge.
It is. It's a big step.
What about landlords with just a couple properties? Do they have to?
It's not mandatory for them, no.
Oh, right.
But they can still offer it if they want.
Good to know. What about the cost for renters, though?
There's a small monthly fee allowed, but it's capped at $10 and it's optional.
Optional. That's good. So No hidden fees, no forced enrollment.
Nope. No surprises.
Okay, good. But this only applies to new leases, right?
Right, after April 1st, 2025.
So if you're signing a new lease after April 1st, talk to your landlord.
Absolutely, ask about it. Could be a game changer for your credit.
Okay, so we've covered application fees, we've covered security deposits.
Credit reporting.
All good for renters, it sounds like.
A lot of positive changes, yeah.
What about, those dreaded termination notices?
Ooh, yeah.
Sometimes it feels like insult to injury.
I know what you mean.
When you're already dealing with ending a lease.
Well, I have good news about that, actually.
Okay, lay it on me.
Starting in 2025, landlords can't charge fees for serving those notices.
Seriously. So no more fees for like a no-fault termination.
No.
Or a 3-day notice to pay or quit.
None at all.
That's amazing.
It's one less thing to worry about.
One less thing when you're already stressed.
Yes.
Exactly.
This is huge. It really does feel like 2025 is a big year for tenants.
It is all about fairness and transparency.
Yeah, I like that.
Which ultimately is good for everyone.
Okay, so we've covered a lot.
Yeah.
Application fees to termination notices.
Big stuff.
But I feel like there's still more to talk about.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We've only just scratched the surface.
Oh, no.
Especially when it comes to evictions.
Uh-oh, that sounds serious.
It can be.
We definitely need to dive into that more.
We do, but for that,
cliffhanger,
you'll have to join us for part 2 of this deep dive.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
We'll be exploring all those changes to eviction procedures.
And what they mean for both landlords and tenants.
That's right.
Okay, can't wait. Okay, we're back and ready to dive deeper into these 2025 rental law changes.
We've covered a lot already.
Yeah, application fees, security deposits, credit reporting.
But now we're getting into some serious stuff.
Yeah, evictions.
It can be a really stressful situation.
Yeah. But the good news is, these new laws give tenants a bit more breathing room.
More time to prepare.
More time to understand their rights.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Because facing eviction, nobody wants to deal with that.
Absolutely not. It's overwhelming.
So what's changing exactly?
Yeah, how are things getting more balanced?
Well, one of the biggest changes is the response time.
Okay.
When you're facing what's called an unlawful detainer action.
Which basically means an eviction lawsuit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Before, tenants only had 5 days to respond to that notice.
5 days? That's not much time at all.
It's not. It's barely enough time to even figure out what's happening.
Yeah, let alone find a lawyer or figure out your options.
Exactly. So that's why they've extended it.
Okay, to how long?
10 court days.
10 days? Okay, that's better.
It is, but it gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
If the notice was mailed to you,
uh-huh,
you get an extra 5 days on top of that.
So 15 days total.
Exactly.
That's a big difference. That could really give tenants a chance.
It could.
To really, understand their situation.
Yeah. Get legal help if they need it.
Gather evidence.
And figure out their best course of action.
It could even, help them avoid eviction altogether.
Potentially, yes.
Wow, that's huge.
It is. It really gives tenants more power in the process.
Empowerment. Okay, but this longer response time, does that affect landlords?
Sure, it can mean a longer process for them.
Yeah, if they're trying to reclaim their property.
Right. But it's about striking a balance
between the rights of landlords and tenants.
Exactly. We want to make sure tenants have time to prepare.
But landlords still have a fair process, too.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about making things easier for one side.
No, not at all. It's about fairness for everyone.
I imagine these changes are causing a lot of discussion.
Oh, yeah, a lot of debate.
Some landlords might be worried about these new rules.
Of course, they're concerned about their investments.
And their business.
And how these changes will affect things.
And tenants, I bet they're feeling a little more hopeful.
I think so. Like they have a little more leverage now.
More of a fighting chance.
Right. And it's sparking a bigger conversation, too. About housing in California in general.
The housing crisis, affordability.
Exactly. It's not just about these specific laws.
Yeah, it's about a bigger shift.
In how we think about renting and tenants' rights.
Wow. So California's kind of leading the way in a lot of ways.
It is. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Like a big experiment.
Yeah. Will we see fewer evictions?
Will tenants feel more empowered?
Will landlords change their practices?
So many questions. I guess only time will tell.
I guess so. But for now, let's bring it back to our listeners.
Okay, back to California.
What does all this mean for you?
Whether you're a landlord or a tenant.
Understanding these changes is crucial.
Yeah, knowledge is power. Especially with something this complex.
Especially with legal stuff like this.
Okay, but speaking of landlords, what are they saying about all this?
That's a good point. We've mostly focused on the tenant side.
Yeah, is there anything landlords are concerned about?
Well, of course, some landlords are a little worried.
Makes sense.
They support the idea of fairness.
Right.
But they're also running a business.
Yeah, and they have to think about their bottom line.
Exactly. And some are worried about these longer eviction timelines.
Like it could be harder to get their property back.
Especially if a tenant is purposely delaying things.
Yeah, that's understandable.
It's a valid concern.
So that sounds like it's all about finding that balance.
Exactly.
Protecting tenants, but also respecting landlords' rights.
Absolutely.
And these new laws, maybe they're not perfect.
Oh, no, it's perfect.
But they're definitely a step towards a more fair system.
Definitely a step in the right direction.
Okay, but we still have more to cover, right?
We do, actually.
Wait, there's more. I thought we talked about all the changes.
There's one more big one about termination notices.
Really? What is it?
You'll have to wait for part 3.
Another cliffhanger, come on.
Don't worry, it's a good one.
Okay, fine, you've got me hooked. Okay, we're back. Part 3, the final chapter.
The grand finale.
Of our California rental law saga.
That's right.
We've been through a lot together.
We have application fees, security deposits,
credit scores, eviction timelines.
All those changes aiming to give tenants a fairer shake.
A more level playing field, you could say.
Exactly.
But we left you with a bit of a cliffhanger.
A little tease.
About one more big change coming for termination notices.
And it's a good one.
Okay, enough suspense. Spill the beans. What is it?
All right. So under this new law,
yeah,
landlords can't charge fees for serving termination notices anymore.
Wait, really? At all?
Nope, no matter what kind of notice it is.
Like no-fault terminations, gone 3-day notice to pay rent or quit.
All gone. No more extra fees just for delivering that piece of paper.
That's got to be a relief for renters.
It is. It's one less expense to worry about.
Especially when you're already stressed about moving.
Right. You're packing, dealing with all the logistics.
And then bam, another bill.
Exactly. Not anymore.
Like taking away one little thorn in their side.
Exactly. It might seem like a small thing.
Yeah, compared to some of these other big changes.
Right, but it makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Every little bit helps.
And it shows they're really serious about this fairness thing.
Yeah, making things transparent.
Right. No hidden costs, no surprises.
I like it. It really does feel like 2025 is bringing a whole new vibe.
A new era for renters in California.
More balanced, you know?
Definitely. And it's not just California.
Oh, yeah, this is sparking conversations everywhere.
Other states are watching closely.
Maybe we'll see a domino effect across the country.
It's possible. Tenant rights are becoming a bigger focus.
That's a good thing.
It is. It's about time.
It's been fascinating talking about all these changes.
It has, and I think it's important for everyone to stay informed.
Landlords, tenants, everyone.
Exactly, because these laws affect us all.
We've only scratched the surface here.
There's so much more to explore.
But hopefully, this deep dive gave you a good starting point.
A good overview.
Exactly. And if you want to learn more,
check out the show notes.
We've got tons of resources linked there.
All the details you need.
So big takeaways from all this.
California rental law is changing in a big way.
Definitely.
And it's all about making things fairer for tenants.
More transparency.
More balance.
So stay informed, stay curious.
And join us next time for another deep dive
into a whole new topic.
Until then.
See ya.
Call now 714-442-9741. Thank you.